I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
I should circle the drain. Oh, now it's all that's left. All that's left of me. Sink my teeth in the pain.
My guest this week, he's scored movies, he's written hit songs, he's formed supergroups. His brother is the F&T 1000. More importantly, though, you know him as the lead singer of Filter, Richard Patrick from Filter. How are you, my friend?
I'm fantastic. I'm just waking up. It's awesome.
Good. Well, we got you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for today.
Yeah.
Well, let's get right to it, man, because I think a lot of people are super excited to hear that Filter has new music. The Algorithm, the 8th studio album. And the crazy thing is, this album has been in the works since 2018 and really has its roots all the way back to Short Bus in 1995. So if you could, tell us how this album took shape, how we got the ball rolling, and now how we finally got here 5 years later.
Well, right after Crazy Eyes, I went and bought a big computer and a studio, a bunch of studio equipment, and I was determined to learn everything again myself, like relearn how to become an engineer. And I sat there and I plowed through a bunch of songs. I did a bunch of songs with this guy, Brian Leesgang, who I worked with back on Short Bus. And we were going to call the record Rebus, but then we had kind of a falling out because of that Pledge music debacle that screwed all our fans over. And so I just took another couple years and decided to call the record The Algorithm. It's fantastic. It is 11 songs or 10 or 11, I'm not sure, of like I said, it's early in the morning for me, but it's just chock full of amazing music, and it's literally like I went back and I kind of rediscovered how to write music just by myself and with my friends. I wrote with this kid, Sam Tenez, who's amazing, and I wrote with his friends, Mark Jackson and Ian Scott, and we did a song called Obliteration, and that's probably what you guys are playing if you're playing something. And then there's a whole bunch of other great people that worked on the record, Zach Monowitz, and so I had a lot of fun, and I did it in between movie scores, so that's why it kind of took a long time. But, yeah, it's fantastic, and I'm really excited about it. And it's finally out, and everyone, we haven't gotten one bad review. There's no bad reviews on this record, knock on wood. And it's fantastic. We're really excited.
So I'm interested because obviously someone who's been in the music scene for as long as you, and we'll talk more about that later on, and you saying kind of relearning. And I know it's on the programming side and writing and everything, but relearning, I mean, are you going back to the very beginning? Are you finding new ways to explore, new ways to challenge yourself?
I do this thing where I buy a piece of equipment and I have to learn it within a couple of weeks. And, like, I bought a Sub 37 bass synthesizer from Moog, and I bought a Pro 3 from Sequential and learned how to program that. Then I bought a new DAW. I use Logic Pro X, and it just inspires me to sit there and learn all this new equipment that's out there. And in the process, I write 2 or 3 songs as a means to learning all this stuff. The songs that I wrote were like The Drowning and Face Down and Be Careful What You Wish For. And it's amazing.
So even you are finding new ways to challenge yourself even after all these years with this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm only 55. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's basically if I can't figure out how to do it, then I get help from one of my friends, and I have tons of friends. And I'm just blessed that it was so easy and so effortless. And listen, if you like alternative rock music from the 90s, this is it. This is the jam.
I love it.
Because I'm hinged in that. I remember clearly what it took to like make those songs awesome and back in the day, and now I'm just hyper focused on that period of my writing. And it was a lot of fun work, but basically just trying to make my head move, just trying to rock out as hard as I could.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com. in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Rock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.
I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
Ashes circle the drain, and now it's all that's left. All that's left of me. Sink my teeth in the pain.
Now, let's talk about, because you said back in the day, and that kind of leads me into my next thing, because you've been making music in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and I'm sorry if this comes off like I'm calling you old, but you've been doing it for quite a long time. What stood out making this record, Algorithm, compared to albums like Pretty Hate Machine with 9 Inch Nails, or Short Bus, or Anthems of the Damned?
Well, Short Bus was me and Brian Leesgang with a computer, and basically I would sit there and write songs, and then we would do overdubs together. And Brian would do all these crazy overdubs. And then title of record, it was when I started relying heavily on an engineer to kind of man the equipment, and I would just sit there and write the songs and come up with overdubs by myself. But then I started relying more and more on people over the years, and on like Crazy Eyes, I was beholden to a producer. This is the first record where I've gone back to just like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I just had the spirit of like, this is my record, this is my band, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be heavy-handed, just make it work from my perspective, because that's always been the perspective that has worked in the past. And clearly, this new record is coming from a point of view of like where I think I want to be musically, and it's the best record since then. It's the best record since title of record and Amalgama and Short Bus. I call it the Warner Brothers 3.
Love it. Well, again,
because I used to be on Warner Brothers.
Right. Well, again, for everyone, if you don't know, the Algorithm out now from Filter, the 8th studio album. Is there a favorite track of Richard Patrick's on this new album? Is there one that you just speaks to you?
I love The Drowning.
Yeah.
I love Obliteration. I love Up Against the Wall. I love Face Down. I love Say It Again. I love Command Z. I love Burn Out the Sun. It's awesome. Yeah. I'm telling you, this is the best thing I've done in 20 years. Absolutely. Okay, well, if Richard says there's not a bad song on there, I think we can take his word for it. So there you go. There's not one bad song. And we have a Nashville alumni, Mr. Ray Luzier, playing drums on Summer Child, which is a song that could have been an Army of Anyone song. We'll wrap it up this before we get to rapid fire with the Algorithm. Let's say you take a kid from the summer of 1996 and you play him this album. Is he going to love it? He's going to adore this record. He's going to absolutely think this record's genius. Fantastic. Well, you can't ask for more than that. The Algorithm from Filter, out now. Go get it. Now, Richard, that we have the important stuff out of the way, the new music that everyone's loving from Filter, let's do a quick round of rapid fire. There's no wrong answers with this. You just go with your gut, and we'll learn a little bit more about you. Let's start on the musical side. Billy Squier or Billy Corgan? Billy Corgan. Steve Winwood or Steve Miller? Steve Miller. Choco Taco or Flintstone Push Pop? Flintstone Push Pop. Oh, wow. That's not the popular answer. I'm glad you went with that one, though. That needs a little more love. Would you rather have soaked jeans or damp socks? Damp socks. Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster? Who would you rather see? I'd rather see Bigfoot. He's an American. keeping it on U.S. soil. I like that. All right, last one. Would you rather fight a man with bear arms or a bear with man arms? What? Would you rather fight a man with bear arms, so like a man, but he has the arms of a bear, or a bear that has the arms of a man? I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. So are you going to befriend either one of them? Is that what you're saying? I'm going to be friends. I'm going to be like, hey, can't we all get along? Come on. Maybe play them the new record and you guys just hang out and chill. I love it. We'll just sit here and have, they can have some beer and some sarsaparilla, and I'll sit around and have some Diet Coke, and we'll just sit there and we'll hang out and we'll listen to the Algorithm together. I love it. And we'll all just get along. I've never heard anyone just sitting down with the man with bear arms or the bear with man arms. I think that's the best answer. That's right.
We need more love in this world. Richard,
More love.
More love, that's right. And more of The Algorithm, which is out now. Filter, Richard Patrick, thank you so much for the time, man. We really appreciate it.
You guys are fantastic for having us, and I appreciate it, and you have an amazing day.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Rock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.
Sean.